I would just love to hear that.
Just tonight or any time?
Yeah, tonight or any time. What draws you to come here?
Tonight, because I'm fighting depression and anxiety, and I've always heard I better join.
And isolating yourself is a way to keep it going.
Yeah, so I thought, get your ass in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't want to, but I thought.
Thank you. Thank you. Then you did what I said earlier about you took control of your own ego. Your ego said, stay at home.
Yeah.
And then you got into your will, which meant the part of you that wanted to have peace and to heal and join was stronger than the part of you that wanted to isolate and separate and hurt you. So now that's proof that there's a part of you that loves you more than the part of you that doesn't. Because the part of you that loves you brought you where you knew you were going to be in the presence of somebody who loved you, and you know I love you, Julie.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, everybody in here. That's right. We call this the crucifixion.
Give me the resurrection if you don't mind.
Yeah. But, getting the love that you don't think you deserve is crucifixion to the ego.
Yes, it is.
And receiving the love that you deserve is the resurrection to your spirit. So you better believe the part of you that wanted you to stay at home is not too happy right at this moment because it lost.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else care to tell me? I just work my way around, and you don't have to do it, but it would help me to hear.
I need to be reminded.
I'm tired. I'm ready for it to be different. I'm ready to know.
Okay.
And I'm going to do whatever it takes to do it.
Thank you.
Flat out.
Thank you. Anybody else?
And this is where I get it.
To learn how to love.
To learn how to love.
I need validation to keep going.
You need validation to keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To think a different way.
You are ready to think a different way. All around. Anybody else?
It makes my life much simpler. Where you're talking about the ego makes it complicated. If I find that I miss these classes, my life becomes complicated pretty fast. If I come to the classes and open up Course in Miracles book or this book, freaks me out how easy my life is.
I read myself out of more crises than people would believe. If I told people how many times I've had a crisis in the world that looked like my world was falling apart, and I stopped what I was doing, got in my car, went to the park, and simply read the truth, and would go back home and there'd be a solution or some breakthrough within 48 hours, you wouldn't even believe me. But it's the hardest thing to convince people that the problem is forgetting the truth. So if you just take a minute to focus on it, that's creating an opening where spirit can come through and transform the situation, where the average person is getting ready to get more serious about handling it themselves and therefore delaying the healing. So what's the sign of spiritual strength? It's when you can stop right in the middle of the deepest, darkest chaos, realize the possibility of light, and say, I need to remember some truth right now. Even if I can't read, I'll get over to my CD player and I'll take my hand and with all the strength I have, I'll push that play button and sit my butt down for 15 minutes and breathe and listen 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 until you feel just the slightest bit of more peace. Because there's no way you can listen to the truth and not feel better. It's impossible. Even if it's just microscopic better. Do you have that kind of love for yourself? That you could sit your butt down when you're most upset and breathe and listen?
Getting there.
Yeah, getting there. Getting there. I can't tell you how proud of myself I feel a lot of times now when I find the temptation to attack come up and I get that little twinge, the little twinge on your side, your little sphincter muscle gets tight and you just go sitting up there. And how many times I just breathed and did not attack and did not go off and watched the situation transform right in front of my eyes. Where in the past I would have gone off on that joker. Especially with the male ego, which is all about, the male ego men basically have a desire to die. Okay? And that's just what motivates men is death. Okay? That's why we do such insane things that people think of insane. It's men that jump out of airplanes usually and you know, all that stuff. Because we like the orgasm of release. You know, the masculine always wants to break through barriers. You know, so it's very difficult for the male ego sometimes to choose for peace, because the male ego is so prone and programmed that it's all about fight makes might and attack and never showing any kind of fear and being invulnerable. And I'm going to show you I'm not afraid of anything and anybody. So it's more difficult for the male energy to get in touch with the feminine in themselves. And it's the feminine in themselves that will give them the intuitive knowledge they need to have in order to know what to be that aggressive about. Being aggressive, but they don't know what to be aggressive about. Where getting in touch with their feminine side would give them the intuitive knowledge that they would know what to use that masculine energy for. And the same thing is true about the feminine. But the feminine has been convinced that it's about being the masculine now. So they're losing the power of their feminine. Because I always say, when I hear a woman describe her ideal man, she's always describing another woman. Every time I hear a woman say the kind of man that she says she wants, they just totally describing a woman.
Yeah.
They want to be sensitive, they want to talk to me, they want to be really nurturing, you know. And what they want is a staff. They want the masculine. They want a rock. They want an anchor. They want someone that can be consistent and strong in their purpose, so that they can feel free to do that dance of the ocean of their femininity and the power of their feelings without, you know, like I said, you know, you can always believe what a woman says only when she says it. Because in the next minute, she could change. Y'all know that's true. The emotion, the feminine is changeable. So it's not that you're being lied to by the feminine, it's just that's the way it feels at the time that it said that. But it could, you know, but she could change them. And that's the feminine. When I say the feminine, I don't mean necessarily the gender woman or the gender man. I'm talking about there's some men who have a feminine essence and there are women who have a masculine essence. So we're talking about the feminine and the masculine that way. But it's the dance of those two polarities that create the passion that you experience in life. So people who have no passion are people who've lost touch with their masculine and feminine polarity. A person who could be a good friend to you in a relationship is not necessarily the person that stirs your passion. You need that masculine feminine charge to create the passion. And that's what we're losing in our society. And that's where everybody's going crazy. Because they're out of touch with their polarities. And it's not a bad thing. We're more than our polarities, but we have polarities at this level. So, I don't know why they came through, and I don't even care. It just came through.
I'm glad.
Anybody else right quick say why they come to the class? Yeah, bro.
I am absolutely convinced that my thoughts create my reality, and I want to be reminded of peace over and over and over and over.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Me too. Down that road?
I come to see the people.
Okay, you come to see the people.
To laugh and to experience.
See, it's all about knowing why. What are you doing it for? That's what determines how it turns out. Anybody in the back? Anybody else? Want to share with me and let me know why you come?
I drive all the way from Fort Collins a couple times a month. Earl's been up to my house too, but I've known him for a long time, and I just know that this is our most favorite thing that we look forward to if we can come during the week, because this is the truth. I mean, I want to hear the truth, and I want to keep remembering the truth, and this is like, I don't know, I wish I could come every single week and every day that you have it, but it's awesome.
Thank you.
We were joking about you earlier this week about the hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Is the wind blowing your house down too? I mean,
That is exactly what's going on with me.
Yeah.
Okay? There is such a hurricane going on inside of me right now, you would not believe in 1,000 years. And I tried not to project it, but I'm sorry. now those people on the East Coast got to deal with my projected hurricane. You know, that's what time it is.
Right.
So before you go out tonight, ask for what you want without fear. Focus on the thing that you can ask for that you're actually not afraid. That means you have complete peace about asking for. Know that you're just moving backwards now, undoing the erroneous things you've learned until you get to the point you don't know anything but your peace and your love right now. And tell the truth about your feelings to yourself, even if you don't tell anybody else the truth about how you're feeling. And you lie to everybody you see and you say you're feeling great and you know you're not. Don't lie to yourself about how you feel. I used to lie to me. Not only would I tell everybody around me I feel great, but then when I would find myself feeling bad, I found myself squashing down my own feelings. Like, oh, I'm going to pretend that I'm not really upset about this right now. I'm not really upset at all. And then the Course in Miracles says, well, don't repress it, rename it. And say, this intense feeling that I'm having right now, instead of fear, this intense feeling that I'm having right now is a deep call for love. It's a deep call for help. It's a deep call for God. Then you don't have to repress it. You can go, oh, then I'm going to let the bigger call for God happen. I'm going to feel all my feelings because it's just a request for help. Oh, okay, I need to have a big SOS. So I don't repress my feelings. You know? And so that's why I'm sending out these lessons and these videos and everything that I'm doing right now. It's all for the purpose of helping us remember, because it's in the remembering that the healing happens. The healing happens in the remembering. Okay, so let's take a 10-second breath break.
Wow.
Remember this. Praying is asking. And that you are unstoppable. 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 Thanks. Thanks for coming, guys. Yes. Hugs are available. Thank you for remembering with me.